Afternoon, everybody. This is JD with Combos with JD. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about a little bit of everything, have a little bit of fun. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, please go and check those out as soon as you watch this one. So, getting right into it, I'm going to try to be brief, and I know before anybody says anything, I'm anything but ever brief. But I actually have to. My children have an event today at their elementary school where they're participating in this like Olympics, mock Olympics, and they're really excited, and I'm gonna go watch that. So it brings me into my point of this conversation today. So last week, I was coming back from the grocery store, and there was a segment on a radio show that I listened to. It's local here in San Antonio, and they were talking about reasons why people get divorced. And one of the top reasons is, believe it or not, because of stay-at-home dads. And I thought about it and I laughed about it. I thought about it some more, talked about it with my wife, but it's been bothering me. And it probably shouldn't. I'm not ashamed of being a stay-at-home dad. I'm more than capable of working. Yeah, I am a disabled veteran. I do have my limitations, but it's not because I'm not willing or unable or anything like that. I actually love to work. I do a lot of work at home. My house is immaculate all the time. My yard looks great. I work hard to take care of the things that I have to make sure that I have a nice and clean home for my family. So I may not be going anywhere and earning money, but I work. But I didn't understand why. And I talked about it with my wife. Why would that lead to a high divorce rate? And she said it's pride. And thought about it, and it made sense. In the very beginning, I wasn't sure if this was something that I wanted to do. I didn't know if it was something I was going to be able to do. I'm not a very patient person. I have my limitations, and I grew up a certain way, from a very southern traditional family. I was in the military, so I have a certain way I like things done. I have an expectation, and I get upset when that expectation isn't met. There are some. I'm not completely authoritative in the way that I parent. There's a lot of wiggle room in there because I understand that I'm dealing with children. And children make mistakes, children repeat themselves, but I'm consistent with how I do things, and my kids know this, and they do know what I expect of them, and I have great kids. So I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it, but as I got into it, and I got into a routine, and everything else, and when COVID came in and it threw my routine off, I had to readjust and do things a different way. And now the kids are back at school. I'm going back to how I did things before, and it works. And it works for a couple different reasons. One, I have a great support system. My wife, first of all, this was her idea. We didn't want to pay extra for child care after school. It made no sense to us. I don't know if anybody out there is doing that, and that's good on you. If you want to do that, I'm not here to say that you should or shouldn't. Some people have no choice, but it's very expensive. And with the jobs that I was looking at getting, already doing what I considered a career, for a decade. I am educated. I have a couple degrees, and I had prospects, but it wasn't really a career that I would want. I saw it more as a job, but anything like that. And I did. I absolutely did have a couple really good jobs. They just they didn't work out for one reason or another. One company switched over to another company, and then a position I was in with another company, they wanted to move me into another position that I wasn't comfortable with doing. So, we parted ways, and that was that. But so now I have lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second to figure out where I was going with this. Yeah, my wife, she's a great support system, and she has a great job, and she's so good at her job that she keeps moving up in this Fortune 100 company that it allows one person to stay home, and that's what we wanted to do. We understand the world has changed. Things are more expensive. The rules within the home have shifted. We like to be more traditional in how our rules are. We've established those rules. Except for she works and I'm at home. And we like that one person is at home. For this reason, today. And this is why I made the video. My children are very important to me, to us. And they get to have a parent who's waiting at home, who has a home cooked meal for them every day, who gets to go to, during school hours, these events that they have, whether it's a bike rodeo or Olympics or any kind of performance, or they celebrated Veterans Day during school. Nobody has to take off work, and I get to enjoy those things. People also have to remember, I was in the military. I missed out on a big part of my kids' early childhood being deployed, out in the field, always gone. I get to enjoy this time now. My kids are growing up fast. I have one that's getting ready to finish junior high in the next year, and they're going to be off to high school, and then, my little sister, I'm watching her kids all grow. They're all grown up. Her youngest boys, my nephews, they're graduating high school. My youngest sister, her kids are graduating high school in 2 months, 3 months. So it goes by so fast. I want to cherish these precious moments in time that I get. And so that's why I wouldn't have it any other way. I love being a stay-at-home dad. I have a lot of fun doing it. It allows me time to do things that I've always wanted to do. I get to do a daily vlog. I've talked about it, and if you watch my intro, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Go back and watch that video. I have so many thoughts, and I want to get these thoughts out. So it's allowed me to do this. I have the time. I'm afforded the time. I get to, like I said, take care of my home the way that I want to take care of my home. And it works for us. I have dropped my pride. I don't have to be the breadwinner of my family. That doesn't bother me. We have a great cohesion. We have an understanding. Talking about my wife and I. Now, one thing that used to bother me, and I think about it from time to time, is I have 2 boys. And I want them to be able to grow up and know what hard work is. They didn't get to see me. They don't remember me being in the military, going to work every day, being gone for long hours or long periods of time. Even my oldest, when I was medically retired, he was in kindergarten. He barely remembers that. So I always thought it was important for them to be able to see what hard work is. But they get to see the fruits of my labor every day here at home also. You see Khaleesi back there? She's getting into her spot behind me. So there is no pride, there's no jealousy, there's no I wish this. Would it be nice to have a little bit extra money the 2 income house would give us? Well, yeah, we talk about the places we want to go. I have family in another state that I don't get to see as often as I like, and that costs money, especially in today's economy where gas is high. It's not feasible to be making those trips all the time, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. So the fact that this leads to such a high divorce rate, that's people just need to step back, weigh the pros and cons of the situation. For us, the pros way outnumber the cons. There are very little cons of this whole thing. As long as somebody has a good job, and somebody's taking care of the kids, that's all that matters to us. And that's what we have. And I'm happy about that. I'm happy that my kids get to try any sport that they want because somebody's always going to be there to support them, to cheer for them, to pick them up from practices. That my kids get to participate in art club, choir, in elementary school, and all these other things because somebody's going to be there to pick them up, to support them, to cheer for them. I love it. My kids love it. My wife's happy about it. It works for us. I really wish it would work for more people if they were to ever encounter themselves being in that situation where one person, like the wife or girlfriend, partner, had to be at work and the other person had to be home to take care of the household. Lower your pride. That's all I have to say. I mean, I know it's easier said than done. I may not be the norm, maybe the exception. I don't know, but I feel like it can be done more if it needs to be, or if people choose to do this. And I really wish more people could afford to be in a situation, maybe not dad at home per se, but where there's two people and one person is at least at home. I wish we lived in a society still where that was possible, where the kids always had somebody at home. I feel something in the last 40 years, 30 years that really hurt American society was latchkey children, especially in the 80s and 90s. I mean, today there's all kinds of after school places to go. It didn't really exist much when I was younger. But then again, when I was younger too, you didn't have to have that, there was more, I think, older kids staying with younger kids after school. The way that the schools, older schools got out early, or high schools got out earlier, but people were elementary school, so younger kids could always have somebody to go home to. Things like that. A lot of that's changed. But anyway, I'm starting to ramble. I don't want to ramble. So, hey, yeah, thanks for tuning in, listening to this video. I hope it was informative. And if you disagree, if you agree, drop a comment, like, share this video, subscribe, trying to grow. Yeah, you guys have a great day. Hey, I'm drinking my coffee a little early, so like I said, I got to get going. But you guys have a great day. We'll talk soon.